everyone. I'm filming this in two, but I think I'm going to have it all together in one. We're doing some coconut, and we're going to go ahead and do the outside of the coconut first. Then we'll get into the inside of the coconut. I'm filming it in two different parts so our white doesn't get completely trashed. So you just want to take a medium brown of your polymer clay. You're going to need a marble for this. Now, if you don't, I just rolled it flat. You can roll it flat with a clay roller or with a pasta roller, something that's round like a rolling pin. If you roll it out flat, you can take a circle cutter if you have one. If you don't, you can roll some brown clay into a ball and smash it with your fingers, trying to keep it as round as possible. To form the outside coconut shell, I'm just wrapping some clay around a marble. I use my fingers to keep it on. And I am bringing it forward just a little bit so our coconut's pretty round and not too shallow. Okay, so here we start with some of the fun stuff. And I forgot my sand, so hold on one second. It's not too far. Okay, so with this, I now take a little bit of TLS, which is translucent liquid Sculpey. I put it on my fingertips, and I start making it nice and tacky, and I'm going to coat the outside of my coconut shell in the TLS. Once we have that done, we are going to dip it in some sand. I still have this in the package, but when I bought it there was a slit at the top. I didn't notice. Most of it fell out already, but this is the color of it. It's a pretty fine grain. I'm going to put it on my piece of paper here so you can see what I do. Now I am going to roll our little coconut shell in sand. This is to help the outside get a slightly lighter color and a little bit of a texture. So from here, I'm going to take my clay blade and I'm going to trim just the edges so we get that nice dark crisp edge on the inside. So I keep going around in a circle doing that, just flicking off this outer edge here. I'm not being too careful about it because coconuts, when you crack them, it won't be a completely even flat line. And then you can take a toothpick or a safety pin and around the very edges just kind of put some little tiny bit of dots, maybe even a few streaks, just to help make it look more realistic. I know that's hard to see, but you're just moving around and placing tiny little dots. Okay, so there we go. Now we are going to take the end of a paintbrush. I'm going to dip it in the sand one more time. And then I'm going to do 3 dots pretty softly, like that, in the top. Now continue our texture. I prefer doing this with a little, that's my daughter, she's having the same allergies I have. So I make some indentations along the sides just for a little extra texture. Okay, and then we bake it. Now, if you like how that comes out of the oven the way it is, you can go ahead and varnish it with a satin varnish after you do the white portion of the coconut. Me, I wanted a little bit of the fibers. So, what I did is I take some burlap and I just take the edges off, and I will take my thumbnail and force it to fray. So I do this up and down the length, and from here I take little cuts and cut them off on the surface. If they're holding on together still, you can just separate them with your fingers. If you're wanting it to look more realistic, you can have them go lengthwise on the coconut shell. Me, I just kind of want to be simple about it. So basically, this is one that's been cooked. So you can see what it looks like when it's been cooked. There's the sand on it. It's hard. I take a little bit more TLS. Get it sticky again, of course. And then tap it on the sides. And then from here, when I have enough on, and you don't want the little holes on the top to swim, what I'll do is I'll roll it around in my fiber. If you want it to look the most realistic, you'll want them to be lengthwise. Here, after I cook it, I will take off some of those hairs, so it's not going to be nearly so hairy as it is shown right now. But then from there, you bake it. Once you bake it, you can pop it off the marble. And then here's one where I've already started picking off some of the hairs. So you just pick off the excess hairs. You can trim them to the edge, but it's nice if you have them popping out just a tiny, tiny bit, so that way when you put in your white, you still see some of the hair. Here's one that's already finished. It was my template, and here's the inside of the coconut. So what I'm going to do, show you one thing real quick, and then I'll be right back with some white. I just did not want to get the white all messy after this. So what I did here is I put a safety pin in through where I want it to hang. So if you want it to be a charm, I suggest you do this, just because I wouldn't like the bottom of the head pin showing with that nice pretty white coconut interior. So here this is, and what I would do is take a head pin and stick it through that hole we just created. Once you have the head pin on, it could just stick out the back, and then we put the white in. Then it's ready to cook. I'll be right back, guys. Hello everyone, I am back, and this will be the mixture for coconut. You want mostly translucent and just a pinch of white. This is regular white right here. I've been kneading the regular light white to try to remove any lint off of my fingers because I don't want lint in my coconut. I have my coconut mixture in a Ziploc bag because I made it a little bit ago. This is the difference of color. This is the white, this is my mixture. And this is the shell that I just showed you with the safety pin in it, and I just put the little head pin in. Now from here I'm going to take a small amount of clay and I'm going to roll a ball. I rolled a ball between my hands, and I'm going to put it inside. We're going to put it inside our little coconut shell. From here, I need a tiny marble. They come in two sizes. We used a regular marble for our shells, and I have the next size down. You can buy these at Michael's or Joann's. And then I am going to use the little marble and press down to shape the inside of the coconut. So that way we get our nice rounded, if you can see it, we have our nice rounded coconut. If you do have a little bit too much in there, you can take it out and shave some off. Looked like we had a little bit too much. It's forgiving enough for you to do that. And there we go. And if it comes out over the sides at all, you could trim it up with your clay blade. I'm cleaning it up with my fingernail right here. And there we go. Okay. So, from here, I need a safety pin. Gonna make sure I have that pushed in there well. That one got pretty messy, but we can fix that. So what I'm gonna do from here is go along the sides with a pin, and I'll help join the edges, and you can even put small little lines here and there along the edges of the coconut. Make sure to meet up the sides. You can also clean it up if there's any excess white clay with this little needle. But here's where I start putting in those little lines that you see. I don't do them too close together, and then every once in a while I'll throw one in with the very tip of the edge. I would go over it with a toothbrush as well, just to help soften any of those hard ridges, because you want soft, delicate lines. And then I would go along the inside with my toothbrush to keep it from staying really super shiny. If you want to clean up the circle again, you could always roll it in to make sure you get that nice clean ridge on the sides. And then we have our coconut. So I'm going to go ahead and make a couple. Sorry guys, this lighting is not the best, but I have all the lights on over. So I'll do a couple more coconuts, and then I will take some pictures. When it cooks, it has a little bit more of a translucent look to it, like this. So there we are. That's some coconut shells coming out of the oven. So I'll go ahead and I'll make some and take some pictures and put them up. After you're done, you should go through and put a little bit of varnish on, but don't swamp it in varnish. Just have little dots of varnish here and there to make it look wet in portions or moist, but you don't want a slick gloss glaze on it. And I would even suggest glossing the back, glossing it, well, put on the varnish, but if you only have gloss or triple thick, tap it to help remove the shininess, but you want it on there to protect the fibers to keep them from coming off. So I hope that you enjoyed this, guys, and I'll be talking to you soon. Bye.